It's Wednesday night, and yet again, I find myself in my local sushi train. Meticulously prepared food will soon be manically shoved down my gob. All those amazing flavours, miso, sake, soy sauce. And you know what these have in common? Mould. That's right, yellow fluffy fungus. But this isn't just any kind of mould, my friend. Oh no, I'm talking about Aspergillus oryzae, also known as Koji, also known as Japan's national microbe. Koji is a yellow-green or white filamentous mould. It was first used in 6th century China, and it wasn't until the 7th century that Koji was reported in Japan. Documents from this period record its earliest uses in sake brewing. Sake uses the yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae to ferment rice, creating flavour and making the sake boozy. However, these yeasts are bums and they only eat broken down sugars. This is where Koji steps in. Koji takes starch and rice and breaks it into simple sugars for yeast to eat. Koji also spits out some amazing aromas and flavours. So, how does it work? Most commonly, water, rice, Koji and yeast are added into one big vat. Lactic acid is also added to boost acidity, ensuring no unwanted microbes grow in the mix. Inside, Koji starts chewing up the rice, and it uses an arsenal of enzymes to do this. Alpha-amylases, proteases, and lipases. Alpha-amylase is the big one, the leaders, if you will. They smack water onto long strands of sugar, breaking it into smaller glucose molecules. These are what fuel yeast to make the ethanol that we know and love. This delicious masticated rice then ferments to make a mash called moromi. This mash gets pressed and, hey presto, you get sake. The process for soy sauce is similar, but instead of rice, it uses soybeans, which brings us onto our next enzyme, proteases. These guys are the personality of the group. They chop up proteins into smaller amino acids and peptides, which make the kicks of flavour in Japanese condiments. There are at least 85 different flavour compounds made by Koji, and they all taste and smell different. For example, esters smell fruity and floral, ketones taste grassy and charred, and furans taste like caramel. And all of that's in one soy sauce fish? Now that's sugoi. Lastly are the lipases. They're less prominent, but they do contribute to those amazing umami and kukumai flavours. So yeah, Koji and yeast make a lethal combo. Lethal for my sodium intake anyways. All this sounds pretty straightforward, but it's taken a lot of self-growth on Koji's part. Koji is a descendant of Aspergillus flavus, a fungus that destroys crops and produces aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is deadly, but don't worry, there isn't any in your miso. Have you ever looked at your pet dog and thought, how are you related to wolves? Well, Koji and A. flavus' relationship is a bit like that. Over thousands of years, humans have been picking Koji molds that make the best food. That means selecting for less plant murderer and more rice-eating goodie in Koji. In fact, a study shows this. Aflatoxin is made up of a mixture of ingredients, and Koji can only make very little, if any, of these. This is thanks to mutations, which have muddled up Koji's recipe book for aflatoxin. Koji also has more enzymes that target starchy outer layers of rice, whereas a flavus focuses more on degrading plants. What sets Koji apart the most, though, is that it's jam-packed with extra alpha-amylases. That's for breaking down all that rice. Koji also has a super strong gene for glutaminase. This protease helps to generate umami flavour. Some of these special genes even look like they've come from other organisms. So it may have taken thousands of years, but Koji really is the fun guy for the job. Undoubtedly, Koji plays an integral role in Washoku. It's part of the important vessel of knowledge that is cuisine and also brings thousands together in festivals. Even here in Australia, it's helping bring me closer to the people I love. So when you think about it, it's no wonder Koji is Japan's national treasure.